don't know about you guys, but ever since AI was first announced, it felt like it was the next thing after like NFTs. Everyone was going crazy for it. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing what AI could do with these videos, with things that look so real, but they're not. But it just feels like the AI bubble is slowly popping, because I don't know about you, I'm actually fed up with AI. It just feels like ever since with COVID and ever since the lockdowns, the next big thing from Mark Zuckerberg going on about everyone's going to be working from home, and he was kind of showing everyone with like a headset on in their living room, and it's going to be this sort of freaking virtual reality. It's going to be basically like Ready Player One. If you've ever seen Ready Player One, it's kind of like something similar to that. But it just feels like whenever there's this sort of new craze or this new technology or something new, it's like these corporate companies, they want to take that absolute forefront of making sure they're going to be the leaders in that field. It feels like AI hasn't actually benefited the everyday person. AI was supposed to make everyone's jobs easier, not just the big corporations making a shitload of money, sacking a lot of people and making profits even higher. Because it feels like where we're going with AI, I'm still waiting for it to pay my taxes. It's made things more expensive, especially for something like gaming. Gaming is obviously a massive hobby of mine, and people who have PCs will be very disappointed that things are going up in price. Obviously, we now know all data centers are making RAM crushingly expensive, which is going to skyrocket the cost of laptops, tablets, gaming PCs. And this is an absolute joke when you think about it. It feels like some people are waiting to take advantage of this. Wasn't Jeff Bezos talking about how basically no one's gonna own a PC and you can essentially rent out a PC? Why would we do that? Why would you want to do that? And it comes back to the last video I did talking about physical games and talking about ownership. It looks like you are just gonna be okay with not owning anything. AI's made things more expensive. I remember quite a few months back, I needed a new SSD for doing my editing. I remember a 4TB hard drive. The one I needed was about £280. I thought, let me wait. I waited, it went up to like 300 something. I waited again, it went up to over £400. And I've made the investment to get a 4TB SSD to make my editing so much easier, but it's cost me so much more money. That's down to all of these big corporate companies prioritizing these data centers for AI, especially in the gaming industry. When you look at it, AI is quietly changing how video games are made. Developers fear it may also mean fewer jobs. And that's the problem. It's, you know, you've seen it with Microsoft. We've seen it so many studios, not just because of AI, but AI is one of the reasons why there is a lot of layoffs, because essentially now that AI can be trained up, they don't need these people anymore because they'll get AI to do it. It's cheaper. And basically that means fewer jobs. And you even had Microsoft where, listen, they're very questionable what they're doing, especially with Xbox. But they said like Xbox is basically no longer a priority as they mostly shift to focus on AI. And to be honest with AI, it's just, for me, I can't stand AI at the minute. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he basically sounds like a villain. And I'm going through this before we get onto the main topic, because this is where we're kind of going in the industry, and we just have to look at what he said.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query.
So already from that, he is comparing a damn human to the amount of energy used to train up AI. Like, we know it's a lot of electricity, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of water, but then he starts comparing it to the human life. And this is the CEO of OpenAI.
It also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time.
Wow. Should we? This is ridiculous.
Smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you.
Basically, we don't need to, should we just not have humans anymore?
So the fair comparison is, if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured
so
that way.
we're looking at humans as just energy and numbers. We're just looking at them as a statistic. And that was just a snippet of where his kind of mindset is. Like I said, it's funny how when AI was first announced, it was supposed to make humanity better. And I can imagine in some cases, it might be making and helping technology or helping medicine. But generally, I see from the outside, it's not actually making the everyday person's life easier. Moving over to Nvidia, because I can't believe what they show. If you're not technical, I'm not technical either, but if you don't know what that is, DLSS is basically a deep learning super sampling. And the idea was to take a game, render it at a lower resolution, as it says here, and then upscale it using AI back to your native resolution. DLSS has evolved a lot in the years, including features like frame generation, reflex, and now an AI model that injects new lighting and materials to make the scene more photorealistic. So there's a lot of benefits to DLSS, but literally the other day, Nvidia announced a new DLSS 5, and we're going to have a look at the video, but oh my gosh, for me, I don't like it, what they did with it. It basically made some of the models look, you could say, so realistic that you can tell it's made by AI. And we're going to break it down each one. So there you go on probably the base PS5. Don't get me wrong, on the PS5 Pro, it feels like Grace doesn't even look like that. But this is with DLSS 5 off.
What the hell is even that?
And there you have it. She looks like an AI model. It looks so AI generated. I don't like it. It literally takes away from the character Grace. That's just me. It just looks so AI. You know that filter of that, you know, that strong jawline. It kind of looks like that. And it's not to mention that some of it is impressive. Like you look at the background, it looks pretty impressive. So you can see the certain lighting aspects. Like, don't get me wrong, the background looks really good. Like, it does look super realistic, but I don't like the AI model. It's just, back in the day, when you looked at, like, the PS3, you looked at The Last of Us, yes, these character models didn't look... Well, I felt like they felt so real because of their performances, because of the story, but this just looks off. All right, so we got Leon here as well. It just looks like, literally like it's AI. I'm already impressed by the graphics. And now, even with this character here, I think it looks pretty impressive with Hogwarts Legacy, one of the characters. And now, it just looks so AI generated, especially her. Like, it looks like borderline, like a cartoony. And I don't know if this is supposed to impress people, but yes, like it doesn't, for me, it doesn't look good. For me, it doesn't look good. Like there, it just looks, it looks like it's AI. It looks like it's AI. It feels like it's taken away from the creativity. Don't get me wrong, some of the Starfield characters didn't look freaking impressive from the beginning, and now that's coming to PS5. Again, yes, that looks, it still just looks like AI, and it is AI. Now, the one thing that does impress me, well, we'll come to that. For me, I feel like with everything going on social media, with AI, all those YouTube videos, for me, I think this is not a good thing. I don't know, how realistic can we actually get, to be honest? Are we going to get more photorealism, but then we're going to get shitter stories? There are some aspects of it that is quite impressive. On Assassin's Creed Shadows, DLSS off, and then all of a sudden you have it on. It does make the overall background super realistic, and I think that's where it could be a benefit. But the character models, especially Grace, it just makes you think, just no. Just freaking no. That looks pretty impressive. That's with it on. You can tell with the lighting, it does look super realistic. So I think there's aspects of it that can be freaking amazing. But in terms of character models, not really. It looks like generated slop. And I'm not the only one that thinks this. It just even there, like, look, it's just, where are we going? Where are we going? I'm fed up of this AI bubble. Important to note with this technology, game developers have full detailed artistic control over DLSS 5's effects to ensure they maintain their game's unique aesthetic. The SDK includes things like intensity, color grading, and masking off places where the effect shouldn't be applied. It's not a filter. DLSS inputs the game's color and motion vectors for each frame in the model, anchoring the output in the source 3D content. But to be honest, I don't know what this is. Like, surely Capcom have seen this and they've thought, this doesn't look good. And if you look at some of the comments, this is what future Nintendo games will look like. Yeah, I wasn't impressed, and Digital Foundry hasn't covered themselves in glory with their article. I'm not sure what they've said. The Resident Evil example really looks like a social media BS fan tree. 100%. You know what it looks like? You know when some things online where people want to be like, she doesn't look good looking enough, we need to make her even more. This is what it kind of looks like. It does not look like Grace. It takes away from the artistic character. It's just unbelievable where we're going. And if we look at the YouTube comments as well, computer ignore creative decisions and make everyone shiny. Notice no fast camera movement, so AI filter. I can no longer think of a bigger slap in the face that I then come and fix it, what developers spent years on. 100. And last one, I wish you all a very happy AI bubble burst. And I'm like with everyone else. For me, I'm fed up of this AI. I'm fed up of it making everyone, the general persons, everyone's lives more expensive. It's making living more expensive. Gaming back in the day was obviously a hobby that was affordable, and arguably it can be still affordable with older consoles, with pre-used games. That's why I think physical games are so important. And when we look at the dislikes to likes ratio, 4.1 thousand upvotes to 22,000, I just think this is a bad thing for gaming. I think this is a bad thing for creativity. And I think it's been like that for a while with gaming, because it feels like so many big companies are looking to cut corners. You look at Ubisoft, you look at all of these big companies looking to make things quicker. And we forget the artistic creativity from developers, from these people. Yes, it can take a very long time, but that's not to say you can't use this technology. It just feels like AI slop. I don't think Grace needs updating. I think that's a terrible example. Who's to say what's going to happen in the future? But what do you think about this latest video from Nvidia with DLSS 5? Are you impressed by it? Is it something that could be used to help games be even more realistic? Because personally, I don't think I can be even more impressed by games in terms of graphics. We've got games like Death Stranding 2. We've got games like Resident Evil Requiem. I'm so impressed with the graphics. You look at games like Horizon Forbidden West, like these games, Demon Souls, they look so unbelievable. For me, I don't think we need to strive for better graphics. Not to say that, you know, into the next generation, we can't have better lighting and all these things. But if it's going to look like that, what is the point? If you like these daily videos, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.